In the beginning, there was the southwesterly wind, the Big Bang, the primal Om. The Big Bang theory tells us that the physical universe expanded from a singularity, a single point unimaginably hot and dense. Yet, it says nothing about why or how this happened. The more mysterious something is, the more we tend to assume we understand it. For a long time, it was believed that gravity would eventually slow this expansion, or that the universe would collapse in a great cosmic crunch. But images from the Hubble Space Telescope shattered that expectation. It turns out the universe has been expanding not only continuously since the Big Bang, but at an ever-accelerating pace. Somehow, there appears to be far more mass in the cosmos than physicists had predicted. To explain this missing mass, scientists now say that only about 4% of the universe is made up of atomic matter, the normal matter we know. The rest remains shrouded in darkness. What we once thought of as empty space actually makes up most of the universe, composed of 23% dark matter and 73% dark energy. It's like an invisible nervous system stretched across the cosmos, connecting everything in ways we are only beginning to understand. The ancient Venetian sages taught the concept of nada Brahma, the idea that the universe is, at its core, vibration. At the heart of both profound spiritual experiences and modern scientific inquiry lies this vibrational field. Saints, Buddhas, yogis, mystics, priests, shamans, and seers, all in turning inward, perceived this resonant pulse at the foundation of existence. Throughout history, it's been called Akasha, the primordial Om, Indra's net of jewels, the music of the spheres, and 1,000 other sacred names. Whatever we call it, that field has always been there. The silent thread weaving all faiths together, the vibrating bridge between our inner world and the infinite beyond. In 3rd century Mahayana Buddhism, there exists a vision of the cosmos that isn't so far from the advanced physics of today. Indra's net is a vivid metaphor used to describe a much older Venetian teaching that the fabric of the universe is intricately woven as one. Indra, king of the gods, is said to birth the sun and set the winds and waters into motion, the force that stirs the rhythm of existence itself. Imagine a vast spiderweb stretching across all dimensions. This web is made of dewdrops, each one reflecting every other drop. And within each reflection, you can see the reflections of all the others. The entire web, along with its infinite reflections, extends endlessly into the cosmos. Indra's net can be seen as a metaphor for a holographic universe, where even the tiniest beam of light contains the complete pattern of the whole. Serbian-American scientist Nikola Tesla is often called the man who invented the 20th century. He was the genius behind alternating current electricity and many other innovations that have become integral to our daily lives. But what truly set Tesla apart wasn't just his scientific brilliance, it was his fascination with ancient Venetian traditions. This gave him a perception of science that was both profound and uniquely independent from Western norms. Like all great scientists, Tesla was deeply invested in the mysteries of the external world. Yet what made him truly exceptional was his equally deep exploration of the inner self. Much like the ancient yogis, Tesla used the term Akasha to describe the all-encompassing energetic field that pervades reality. He even worked alongside the Vedic sage Swami Vivekananda. In Vedic teachings, Akasha is space itself, the boundless void that exists in sync with vibration, the invisible medium through which all elements move. And this field cannot be separated from prana, the life force or vibration itself. If Akasha is yin, then prana is yang, together forming the pulse of the cosmos. One modern concept that can help us understand Akasha, the fundamental substance of existence, is the idea of fractals. Until the development of computers in the 1980s, we couldn't truly visualize or mathematically replicate the complex patterns found in nature. But with technological advances, these hidden structures began to emerge more clearly. The term fractal was coined in 1980 by mathematician Benoit Mandelbrot, who was studying certain inequalities that, when repeated within a limited framework, generated an infinite variety of mathematical or geometric forms. Fractals are paradoxical, they are finite, yet hold infinity within. One modern concept that can help us understand Akasha, the fundamental substance of existence, is the idea of fractals. Until the development of computers in the 1980s, we couldn't truly visualize or mathematically replicate the complex patterns found in nature. But with technological advances, these hidden structures began to emerge more clearly.
Shrim Rim Klim Lam Gam Ganapatiye Varavarada Sarvajanam Eva Shivaya Swa.
One modern concept that can help us understand Akasha, the fundamental substance of existence, is the idea of fractals. Until the development of computers in the 1980s, we couldn't truly visualize or mathematically replicate the complex patterns found in nature. But with technological advances, these hidden structures began to emerge more clearly. Fractals have reshaped the way mathematicians perceive the universe and its underlying mechanisms. At each new level of growth, the core structure remains, yet subtle changes begin to emerge. As one moves from one intricate layer of a fractal to another, fixed ratios and geometric transformations take place. This unfolding is the cosmic spiral, the embedded intelligence within the matrix of time and space. This mesmerizing form has been named the Buddha-brot, because within its patterns, one can sense not just mathematics, but the pulse of the universe itself. Fractals are by their very nature chaotic, containing both noise and order at the same time. We observe them as objects, focusing our attention on specific patterns. We seek out the shapes we find beautiful, trying to make sense of the complexity. But in order to hold those patterns in our minds, we are forced to set aside the rest of the fractal. In the search for meaning within chaos, much is left behind. To try and perceive a fractal through the senses is to limit its flow. The energy of the universe is, at its core, neutral, timeless, and dimensionless. Our ability to recognize patterns, our creativity, is the very bridge between the microcosm and the macrocosm. It connects the timeless world of waves with the solid realm of objects. Observation itself is an act of creation, built into the nature of thought, and it happens through limitation. When we label, when we define, we construct the illusion of solidity. By giving something a name, we freeze it in form. As the philosopher Kierkegaard once said, "If you name me, you negate me." In assigning me a definition, you deny all the other things I could be. By identifying and naming a particle, you lock it in place, but in doing so, you also bring it into being. Creation is our true, inherent nature. The formation of objects gives rise to the concept of time, and with time comes the illusion of solidity. Einstein was the first scientist to realize that what we thought of as empty space is not nothing at all. It has its own unique properties, and beneath it lies an almost unimaginable amount of energy forming the very fabric of space itself. Seasoned meditators know that the greatest power in the universe doesn't lie in motion, but in stillness. The Buddha had a term for this fundamental substance, kalapas. These are tiny particles, or wavelets, that rise and fall trillions of times every second. What we perceive as reality is more like a sequence of images flashing rapidly through a holographic lens. A temporary illusion constructed in motion, and this illusion can only be seen for what it is when consciousness becomes truly still, because it is consciousness itself that sustains the illusion. Ancient mystics, yogis, and seers have long spoken of a field that exists at the root level of consciousness, the Akashic Field or Akashic Records. It is the matrix from which all things arise, the source where all knowledge, all experiences of past, present, and future eternally exist. From subatomic particles to galaxies, from stars and planets to all forms of life and consciousness, everything exists within this field. Nothing can be seen in isolation because everything is made of countless layers of vibration, always shifting, always in dynamic exchange with Akasha. A tree is not just a tree. It contains sunlight, air, rain, and soil. What we call tree is a stream of energy, something through which the entire universe moves. When the mind becomes still, reality reveals itself in its wholeness. The tree, the sky, the earth, the rain, and the stars are not separate. Life and death, self and other, they are not separate either. Just as a mountain cannot be separated from its valley, in Native American and indigenous traditions, it is said that everything has a spirit. In other words, all things are connected to a single vibrational source. One consciousness flows through all forms, one field, one power, one essence. And this field does not just exist around you, it exists with you, as you. You are the universe. You are the eyes through which creation observes itself. And just as you awaken from a dream and realize that everything in it was you, you were the one who spoke, the one who created. So too, the so-called real world is no different. Everyone and everything is you, one consciousness peering through every spark, every stone, every particle.